Welcome. Welcome. My name's Brian Knight, and I live near Melbourne in Australia. And it's just 5 a.m. or 5:01 a.m. on a Friday here, so it's nearing the end of the trading week. We've got another, like 24 hours or so. Let me just share this screen first. This is a welcome to this live FOREX analysis session. Please note any trades discussed in this group are to be classed purely as educational only. That's the reason for that is we're a group of people helping each other and we're not financial advisors. So there is a full risk disclosure here and a little bit about us as live session traders. So welcome, Tom. Now, where are we? I will just up my trading platform at the moment.
Hi, Brian.
How are you, Tom?
Good. How are you?
Good. There's my trading platform at the moment. So all trades are in positive at the moment, which is a bit phenomenal, really, to be honest. It's like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? So, yeah. Good evening, Darren. Have you done your social duty?
Yeah, first thing this morning I did that. Yeah.
Okay, rightio. And what's the craziness going on the out in the hustings?
Well, you don't hear anything. They're these strict rules here that during the actual period when the polling stations are open, the media, TV, press, nobody's allowed to.
It's a blackout. Yeah, we do here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just pretty quiet, really. I don't know.
But 10 p.m. it's on for young and old, is it?
Yeah. Well, as soon as just after 10 p.m. the get the prediction then based on some exit poll that
Yeah.
that the BBC do. They're usually fairly accurate.
Okay.
So know straight away what the result's going to be. Too much.
Well, you notice some of the trades are not in, they're not in massive profit or anything. 2.5 pips, I can't see what that one is.
Fantastic figures there, though, Brian. I mean, GBP, JPY, what's that, 500 pips?
516, yeah. 486 on Euro JPY, 340 CAD AUD JPY 309, USJ 340, Singapore Japanese 249. They're a bit of a boon at the moment, aren't they? I mean, these JPYs are just climbing to the sky at the moment. Anyway, they all have stop losses in place, everything along here. The ones that are well and truly in profit are, 50 pips behind, for example. So, yeah, we'll see what non-farm payroll does on...
Well, there's not been a lot of movement today, with it being the US holiday, I guess.
Yeah, 4th of July, that's right.
Dead.
No.
Dead is what you mean. It's dead.
Dead.
It hasn't moved at all, man. It is super dead.
Well, it's interesting, though, the GBPs, though, I was down, like I was in the negative of GA because the sell. Anyway, we'll just go across to the charts, and it's come into profit. Like it's not GA, it's only 25 pips, but when you look at it, I got this one for a sell and it pulled back up and put me into sort of drawdown, and now it's sort of pushed down a bit. And it's still we'll see. There's sort of the bottom or the rail. So anyway, I was in a sort of like is it going to pull back up to the middle? Is it, what? But no, a couple of days pull back down. We'll see what happens when the election results come, whether it will push that British pound down or it'll just bounce up crazy. I mean, that's the sort of the danger with it at this point. Anyway, all right, let's go. So questions, feedback, craziness. What are your thoughts?
Well, currently I am on a ridiculous winning streak.
Yeah. You
My
said you had
previous was 16.
Yeah,
I'm at 23 wins now.
right. In a row.
In a row.
Mm.
Ridiculous. I have 4 trades running right now, and they're all like small negative, like pips, like nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for them to just go green.
Mm. That's very nice. So, I mean, it's been a while, hasn't it? I mean, it's like,
I have never had this level of luck. Never.
yeah, I don't know if you call it luck. I mean, I suppose there's an element of it, but there must be an element of good planning in it. Or is
I
it the
guess.
market? Or is it the
I don't
market?
know. I don't know because I've just pretty much gotten in, and either they win or they fail, and just luckily I've just been in the right direction recently.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, well, we'll see how we go. I mean, I think also too, Darren had sort of indicated that talking about fundamentals and having a bit of a decision uh, about direction based on fundamentals and trend direction. I mean, that's really what I'm doing. I mean, I'm still using indicators as some indicators like the channel and triangles, but like other than that, it's really just looking at the trend direction. Yeah. But anyway, right. Okay. AUD CAD. It's still pushing up. I mean, doesn't mean it won't sell out, but we've got a little bit of news, which is the trade balance, which came out. Obviously, that was lower. The unemployment rate hasn't come out yet in Canada. That'll be, oh no, that should have happened today, should it? You're today? Isn't it? It's after 1:30 your time, isn't it, Darren? But oh no, you're not, you're still on the 4th though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not till
sorry.
tomorrow.
It's not till tomorrow. Right, well, sorry, I'm there already. That's all I'm saying.
So what's it going to do?
Well,
You've
it's
already seen
saying,
it.
what do you mean?
You're a day ahead. You've already seen what's going to happen. What's going to go?
Oh
What's
no,
going to
no,
happen?
no. I'm on the 5th, but I'm not. I'm not to that point. So
Just messing. Yeah.
6.3 forecast. So the unemployment rate going up a bit in Canada, which means that the Aussie dollar will strengthen again. Yeah. And then there's just business confidence. It's not a big sort of pusher. I still think this will push further. I can see it going further up at this point, and probably to the rail at least. We'll see. I'm not in any sort of great, it's just a small 15 pips or something at the moment. At least it's sort of in the right direction. I mean, I've been in this for 3 weeks and it's really not gone any sort of considerable amount, not like a JPY. So this is one of the things I've been considering. It's like, should I have been in it? But I don't know. Is it like a UCAD where it just, you're in it for months and it's doesn't really give you a big return, and maybe the commissions on it might sort of outstrip anything. So that's just a consideration. But I think for me, it's really more about seeing whether the theory that I have in relation to trend and all of that, whether that actually is true. All right, AUD pushing up still. Lovely. Yeah, 106 pips on this one. Now, it didn't come outside the rail here, so it's a bit of a problem in it from Darren's perspective. But anyway, hang on, guys. I'm going to disappear for a couple of minutes. All right, just be back soon. You can chat amongst yourself.
He's doing amazingly well.
Yeah, I sort of watched him get in some of these trades as well, and I sat there watching him, and why did I get in them as well? That's kicking himself really. Yeah, it was when
Yeah.
you got into some of them when you were away the week, I think. Just kept getting
What?
in. But when you were
Oh,
away
yeah.
that week, he just sort of kept getting in them, and it just sort of said, "Oh, I think this is going to go up, so I'm going to get in." But that was
Yep.
it. So there's no more signs to it than that.
Right. Exactly. And I got to tell you, that's kind of the same approach I'm taking. So if it's pointing in one direction, I'll get in. And sometimes it's 5 or 10 pips I get, or sometimes it's 80 or 150 pips I get. And it's just like whenever I get in one, I look for a reason to get out of it for any reason. So for example, AUD this one on the 4 hour, we have triangles going down the other way. And it's like, I don't even believe the triangles anymore, because I can't tell you how many trades I took this week where there was like 4 or 5 triangles hanging over my head to sell, and I bought and it still went up.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm absolutely losing faith in these triangles.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's my last indicator.
Yeah.
Is the X48. That's it.
I mean, look on this AUD Swiss, and just the basic shorts and longs on the twin range are powerful indicators on their own without anything else at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not suggesting
Yeah.
just get in simply off the back of them, but you look at some of them. Think on the daily I'm looking at. Think I could have.
Yeah. And this is one of those pairs that when you do get a signal, they tend to travel quite a ways.
Mm,
This isn't one of those, quick up down pairs. They tend to travel.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
I think he likes the simplicity of this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Right, I'm back. So, what did I miss?
Oh no, we were actually just discussing triangles.
Oh, okay, no worries.
I was just saying. You look at this AUD Swiss, and just these shorts and longs on the daily are quite powerful, just on their own without without anything else.
Hmm.
Or in fact, when it just changes from red to green, green to red,
Hmm.
and Tom was just saying it seems to be one of those pairs that doesn't quickly go up and down. It sort of when it turns, makes a move, it travels quite a distance.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I look at it and go, well, you look here, it bounced off, and then it's in that buy. So where it come down to never broke the low, and then it just come back up again.
But if you'd have just got in the sell when it turned red at the top there, got out when it
Yeah,
turned green, got in the buy.
yeah.
Yeah, if you just did that, I wonder how far you get just doing that. Just jump from sell to buy, buy to sell.
But it may also not, Darren, it may suit this pair, but not another pair.
No, that's right. That's what Tom was saying then, just when you disappeared there. So, I mean, it wouldn't suit USD CAD, for instance, because
No,
that's just
no.
constantly chopping about. You'd be in out,
Yeah,
you wouldn't know whether he was coming or going with that one.
yeah.
You
It's
know,
quite radical, isn't it?
I might just, out of interest, I might just do that. Sort of back test over it, just switching from green to red.
Yeah.
Angle close, just looking at this.
So this is some of the discussion I think, Darren, that I was having with you. It's like, well, if it doesn't come all the way out to the outside of the rail and give you a triangle, I mean, what are the other things that we're looking at that may, for me, I mean, the fundamental in the end is getting into a trade in a much more longer term direction, trending direction, is really what my main aim is. If I'm going to get into a trade that's opposite that, I'm going to have to be convinced that that's a swing high, swing low turning point, that it's going to continue, or I'm going to be in it for the more short term. So, like this trade here, for example, two questions. It's like, well, it has a trailing stop on it. So if it does pull back and it profits me out, do I just then leave that at that point, right? Um, and wait for it then to pull back and then get into another buy, or do I get into a short-term sell? And for me, I probably would stay out of it at this point for a sell. But that's just me at the moment. I'd have to sort of look at it maybe in that sort of situation where it would be. I mean, Tom, you probably just grab the pips and run where you're at this point. If it goes into a sell.
No, I'm actually looking for a buy on this because I think
Yeah,
it's going to
okay.
break that high. So, like I was
Yeah,
telling
but
Darren,
once it breaks the high though, Tom, would you consider a sell on it? That's what I'm saying.
no, I think it's going higher.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay.
going a lot higher actually,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like a lot higher, up to like 64,000.
Yeah, okay.
All I'm doing is waiting for this 4 hour because I've got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy crap! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white triangles on the 4 hour. So all I'm doing is waiting for this to either pull back a little, just a little, give me some sort of pullback so I can get into it for a buy.
Yeah, okay.
And if it just keeps dropping off, which I don't think it's going to,
Well,
but it
let's
might come
see.
back to the trend bar.
Yeah, I'll just
Uh,
sit down at the 4 hour. Let's see. Because I don't know what your settings are on your um yeah, you've got yeah, I can see.
yeah, so I'm looking for a further buy. So what I'm waiting for is this to do something on the downside.
Yeah, yeah,
Something, I don't care what it is.
yeah, yeah.
My
pull
entry is
back.
going to be above those triangles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to let it come all the way back up to me.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. See, that's the thing too with it for me on the 4 hour, you've got green, red, 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 green, like that would really become for me not confusing, but would create an uncertainty
Mm-hmm.
where, on the daily, for example, that's just clear. Well, except for that little pushback up there, which did create a little bit of green. But it did come back down. Now, this is just so I think this is the discussion I was having with you, Darren. It's like, well, if you were in that cell and with your settings, it probably got you out, but never gave you a triangle for a buy, we wouldn't have had that trade as a potential trade, would you?
No.
Yeah, it's anyway. Just trying to simplify it a little bit. I am. And you're right, it's this pair may suit where another pair may not, like USD CAD. Okay. We'll just move on then. And just looking at each one of them, AUD, JPY, like this is telling you, like it's just, it hasn't gone a lot in the last 24 hours. I mean, you can see it's a very small candle, but this is like the year high and it's gone past like the all time from 2000, it's broken that. So most of or nearly all the JPYs have sort of done that. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, and this is the thing. One of the things in the years of it, people, you'd have all of these pundits, all these experts going like, "It's got to turn, it's got to turn." Like you only take sells. Only it's like, well, that's not what's happening here. So AJ, it's like I'm up 307 pips, and like as I said, I've got a buff. I've got 50 pips below that. That if it does spike down, it's like, well, I'm still going to profit out by, 250 or something. And I suppose it's like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, and this trend is just a trend doesn't change until something major happens, really. Whatever major is in the fundamentals, I think, Darren, whether it's news or those sorts of things. Anyway, it's still pushing up. I mean, that's going a bit sideways, but it'll have a day like that. And that's could be 4th of July stuff, could be UK election, whatever it is. AD and ZD. Oh my gosh. Um, the patch is getting thicker and thicker at the moment now. Um, it's outside of the rail. We haven't got any triangle yet. I'm up about 8% just on this one trade. And this is more of, let's go here, like from a daily perspective, it's like we've got the green arrows there, it came back up, gave us, sorry, triangle, gave us another green triangle and off it went. So this is like the first trade I've taken in this pair for years, years it is. And thank you to both of you, both of the pirates here, or the mutineers for their guidance. So yeah, look, this will potentially turn, but I don't know. The fundamentals at the moment is the Aussie dollar is crazy. I mean, you look where it is. I'm not saying that will matter, but like at some point it'll get crazy and need to pull back, but it doesn't look like it's doing it anytime soon. And there's no real news event to cause that to happen. again, I'm, well, one of my AD 227 pips. So I'm about 50 pips behind that or below this here, somewhere down here, that if it does pull back down, it's like, well, still going to profit out by 100 and whatever on it. It'll probably bring it back to, well, it'll bring it back. I might only get 5% out of it. But still, I think 5% over 3 weeks or 4 weeks is not too bad.
So
Well, I think it's quite reasonable.
I think it's very good. We're only talking 1 per here as well. Probably.
Yeah. 80 Singapore. I think I got in this really late. This was on the 3rd. And I'm up 44 pips on this at the moment. I would have liked to have been in this earlier. The only problem was that because my account size was so small, it basically wouldn't allow me with margin to take the number of trades. I think I'm in 21 trades at the moment. It's like crazy amount. I've never been in this many trades in my life. Never, ever. So, and I think, Darren or Tommy, both you on session, you've seen me get into the trades. I've actually taken them in a session, which has sort of changed my view on when to take it. Because what I would have done is waited until after New York had finished and wait until, Sydney Asian had settled down before I take a trade. And I sort of would miss those opportunities where now I'm taking trades and just putting, well, I'm calculating it at about 0.5%, but what I'm doing is I'm putting a larger stop loss on it at the start to counter any of that spread. So anyway, and then tightening it up. Well, 50 pips, all right. AUD, USD. Again, this one, that's
Sorry, I was on
nice.
mute. I actually wanted to say something to you about that, Brian.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, AUD Singapore.
So you got me thinking the other day, and what I was thinking about was time frame. So you said you're placing trades without a stop loss, and then you go back and put stop losses on later.
No, I've got a stop loss, but it's actually quite a large stop loss. Like it's 50 plus pips, yeah.
Yeah, but you put it on after you place the trade, right? A
Correct.
day or so later?
No, I can put it
or even
on.
a half a day later, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking. I was like, you know what? You're right. So what I've been doing is taking trades, but I do it on the 4-hour time frame. And the last and if I'm going to take a trade, the last trade I take is at noon, and I don't place a stop loss. So the next candle doesn't come up until 4 o'clock, which means I don't care about the spread. I'm concerned about which direction the candle's going. So if I place the trade on the 4-hour, then I don't have to place my stop till 4 hours later after the last close of candle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Which gives you a indication of direction in that 4-hour. Well, it will give you a direction in that 4-hour cycle.
Right.
And the spreads will come down. So it means that you can place a stop loss there with a
much tighter stop loss.
Yeah. But you would have already though calculated it with your lot size though, Tom, wouldn't you?
Yes, absolutely. So what I do is I place the trade with the stop, and I set my stop where I want it to be at 4 o'clock.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then I take the stop loss off.
Yeah,
I take the stop loss off.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying too.
Yeah. So I figured if I place my last trade of the day at noon, I don't have to re-enter my stop until anywhere between 4 and 6 p.m. after the market is open and calmed down.
Yeah.
But I'm still not missing that trade.
Because that's what I've been doing. I've been missing those trades, Tom, and exactly what you're saying. well, not missing, but not taking the opportunity because I'm not back to it or something happens or whatever. It's
Right. So the other thing is I do it again. So I check it at noon and then I wait till market open, which is 10.
mhm,
And then at 2 a.m., if I'm up, typically I am, I'll check it again. And then I pick the direction it's going, place my
mhm,
trade, and then just go to bed. Because at 2 a.m., my next candle is at 6 a.m.
yeah,
And by then the market has opened and already began its move. So I already know whether I'm right or wrong at market open.
yeah. New York Open, yeah, yeah,
New York
yeah,
open. So if I'm
yeah,
right, it's going in my direction. If it's wrong, it's
yeah,
coming back on me. I just get out of
yeah.
it.
Get out of it. That's right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I give myself,
Absolutely.
but I force myself to say, okay, I have three triangles here telling me this should go down,
Yeah.
and I'll buy it to go up.
Okay.
And I can't tell you how many times it has bought against those
Mm,
triangles.
mm,
So if I'm wrong, it should be going down, right?
yeah,
The triangles are telling me it's going down.
yeah.
And that's why I'm getting a lot of these wins. It's because I'm betting against everybody else that's seeing the same market. Everybody's starting to see this turn. They know it's coming. So I only take a small bite on the way up as it breaks. It breaks
Mm,
out
mm-hmm,
where everybody else is.
mm.
So I either win or everybody else is right and I don't get triggered in.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But that's how I figured out the time frames to start looking at, okay, if you're going to put a trade on, look at the 2 hour, which direction is it going? Set your
Mm,
trade at 4 hour, give yourself plenty of space, and the
yeah.
next candle should close at X.
And then you could look at the daily after a day or two and see whether it is overall, well, you'd see anyway on the 4 hour, but it would give you that insight into it.
Right.
Mm, mm.
So there's no reason to miss trades.
No, correct.
You just have to pick the right time frame
Yeah,
that you want to apply for your time frame of living at the moment.
yeah. And then you could take a trade actually at any time in the 24-hour cycle. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to appropriately, like if it's after it's settled down, then you could have not necessarily a tighter stop loss, but you could you don't you're not concerned about being thrown out as such.
Right. And not only that, but
Mm,
what a beautiful opportunity if it is going in your direction to get into a
mm.
second trade.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I haven't
Even if
done that
it's a
on any
short
of
term
these.
pullback, I did it
Yeah.
the other day and oh man, my nerves were just like racked. Yeah. Yeah. I put one trade on. I was like, okay, this is gonna go. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. And then it just paused, and I was already triggered into my second trade. And I was like, oh boy, here we go.
I love it. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh yeah, AUD USD. Let's look at that.
Does that make
Now
sense
that
on the time though?
absolutely it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's sort of you're just sort of reinforcing where what I sort of think that I've been doing as well, that I've
Mm-hmm.
seen holes in the way that I've traded that
Mm-hmm.
I'm wanting to plug them up a bit. So we'll just see.
Right.
Uh,
I see how hard it's working out for you.
yeah, yeah, it is difficult. Um, there are some. I'm just sort of. It's also too that I've got a real consideration in relation to the trades that are taking longer. I'm thinking to myself, do I? Um, I mean, this is the thing. Do I give them a certain number of days and then just kill them out while they're just in like small loss or absolutely small gain? So, like this is the question. Like you can make an assessment of a pair. Like this is a great example, AUD USD, right? How long is this? This is from 15th of May all the way through now to 5th of July, right? That's, what we got 50, like 45 or more days that it has basically just bounced up and down. Yeah. And, I got in, where's the date there? 13th of the 6th. So somewhere around here. Yeah, that, right? So it pushed up, made that peak. I got in somewhere there. I would have got in drawdown, into positive, into drawdown, into positive, into drawdown, into positive, into drawdown, into positive, into drawdown, and now it's in positive, right? That it just do I mean, this is, and I think very much about Darren in this situation when, and myself. Remember, we were in that, was it the UK that, I can't remember, we were both in a similar trade that it just bounced around for months and really didn't get anywhere for us. And then it basically stopped me out. I think it was me. It might not have been you, Darren, but it's just, we're talking last year sometime.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think about these and go, if they don't within a week, for example, make some sort of not substantial, but a 30, 40 pip move in the direction that I'm wanting, that I'm like that I'm forecasting, then do I just kill it and then walk away from it? The only problem I've got with that is that the fundamental stuff that I know is that when you have a sideways movement within a trade for a period of time, the longer it is, the more pronounced the movement out of that will be, right? And so do I hang in there for the longer term for it to move? And it could go in the opposite direction because the fundamentals can change within that sort of month and a half. Easy. I mean, the fundamentals can change within a day or a week at the most, sort of thing. But to be in something for a month and a half, it's like the fundamentals could actually change on it and then blow you out of the water. And then you lose your whole 1% or whatever you've applied to that trade. So I don't know. My thoughts are sort of like mixed on this one. Yet I've looked at this AUD USD, and for me, I keep thinking US is close to potentially lowering their interest rates, and the Aussie dollar is nowhere near it. And so this sideways movement is this US vacillation of what they're going to do or not. And I think after FOMC yesterday, there is this sort of clear idea that yes, US is going to be lowering its interest rate. So off it went. So it bought. The Aussie dollar became stronger against the US dollar in relation to it. That doesn't mean it won't pull back, because this is it's like it's like a US CAD sort of thing. But if you've got AUD USD, it's again it doesn't tend to do lots of move. I mean, it would be great to get into a trade like this, where it went from, where was this, 19th of April up to 16th of May. It wasn't even a month, and it moved. Oh, how far did it move? Like it moved 280 pips. That's the sort of move I'm looking for, not a bloody 40 pip move after a month. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's okay to be in it because now I'm in, 21 trades, crazy. but like, do I need to or not need to? I mean, I think at the moment I'm still in the sort of
Okay,
the
but look at
quarter.
it this way, Brian, if I may.
Yeah,
Think of it this way. Unless you plan on reallocating those funds that you're going to pull from this trade into another trade,
correct.
then what's the point in taking them out if you're still going in the correct direction? No
Yeah,
matter
right.
how much money it is, it's still gaining.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So until it proves you wrong, leave that money in or allocate it to another trade if you're going to pull it out. Because if
Mm,
you just kill the trade, you're just putting it back in your account.
mm.
At this point, your trade's making money, right?
Yeah, true.
So
Well,
if you're actually right to be in this direction and it's an actual winner, unless you're going to reallocate that money, why would you take it out?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you have margin and you have other like account size and how many trades you're in to take into consideration as well. So,
Right, but you're
mm,
willing to risk killing this trade to buy another trade, even if you get a tighter stop loss on the other trade. This is still a
mm,
winner. So
yes.
you're actually leaving money on the table.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I'm up. Like this thing was in negative and positive. I'm up. It's 65, 66 pips at the moment. Now, not to say that, it might do non-farm payroll and shoot back down again, but still, I probably only have a break even. Hang on, let me have a look. I don't know. I'll have a look right now. There's my AUD there. Um, ah, it basically, or I've got it actually at, yeah, no, is it my stop loss is actually at break even. I haven't moved it up. So, it's 60 pips, and if it comes back, I'm not going to lose anything. It'll basically just knock me out of the trade. So it's safe at this point. The trade is,
Okay, so where is the stop loss though?
hang on, I'll just tell you right now. Um, where is it? Oh God, hang on. I ended. It's not going to tell me, is it? Hang on a minute. It's hard to see. Oh no, I'll see it down here. 66672. 66672. Right there at the bottom of this candle here. See where I entered was over here. I entered it over here, and it's gone negative, positive, all over here. And now it's gone. So basically, my stop loss is basically, oh God, I can't see how many. I'm 5 pips. My stop loss is actually 5 pips above what my entry was. So even if it comes back, maybe with spread, it'll just be break even. Yeah. Because I'm only 65 pips in profit at the moment, and my sort of basic rule is once I'm 50 pips in profit, I basically come to break even, right? Does that make
Okay,
sense?
okay.
So because I'm 65, I haven't adjusted it, you know, um, but 5 pips is basically okay where it is. And so if this spikes down, then I'm out and I've made 5 pips on it, but who cares? Um, and that depends on what non-farm payroll does. It could push it further up. I think that's, and so all the other trades that, for example, any of the trades that say, for example, I've only got 1 pip on it, like I'm about 50 pips below entry. or above entry or wherever, like it'd be a negative if it shot down to stop loss, that would be it, right? It's the half, 1/4% or whatever it is. But once it's 50 pips or more in profit, then I'm going to move my stop loss to break even plus a bit. Yeah. Well, 50 would be break even, but yeah. And then once you get 100 pips up, then I'm 50 pips in profit from wherever entry is, whether it's a buy or sell. Does that make any sense?
It it does. It does make sense. It does make sense. I see what you're doing.
So, for example, what is it? NZD CAD, I'm now 51 pips, so it'll be a break-even trade if it comes back. But if the further it goes, I mean, if it bounces down to 45, back up to 55, like up to 60, whatever, then I'll start to move the stop loss. But it has to be, sorry, it has to be at least 50 pips in profit before I can move it to break even. So that's the danger area. And I think that's why I was sort of saying, while a trade does this bounce around, I'm still 50 pips. I'm still, it's in the, it's constantly in danger of going to the stop loss. Where if, for example, I got into a trade here, like this is the different scenario, like getting into a trade just there, it bounces around and I'm constantly in a stop loss sort of situation with loss, right? Where, for example, if I was getting into a trade here and it pushed up and I've got a 50 pip, once it goes into 50 pips, I'm basically in a profit situation the whole way. That's the sort of the different psychology on it. That's all. And I think it's in my head, I get annoyed that I'm sitting here and I'm not able to move my stop loss into break even at least. That's sort of the danger trade or danger zone for me, where when it moves like that, I've got like very quickly, to a certain extent, very quickly I'm in some sort of a break even, no loss situation.
Well,
I mean,
if I understand you correctly, you are actually where that long is.
where here, down the bottom or up
No,
here?
up at the top.
Yeah.
And your stop loss is, so that's your entry.
Not well, it would be, but my entry was over here. It was like back on the 13th of June.
Right. So that long candle, right, is above your entry.
Correct.
So why
Correct.
don't you? So is that your stop loss right there at the
Yes.
bottom of that candle?
Correct. That is where it is. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I couldn't see it. What I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
is I can't see it in my head.
Yeah, no,
That's what I was
that's
trying to
exactly where
understand.
it is. My stop loss.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think, but I think also too, it's not just 50 pips as well, Tom. It's also too, I hear Tom's voice in the back of my head. It's like if it's going to come back, it has to break that low. All right, really in a way, and that's probably safe. And it's also a bit of Darren going, well, hey, you always, one behind. Remember, we used to talk about that last year. I mean, it's like you're one step back from where its high or low actually went to. So really, if this trade is going to keep going in a buy, it actually won't break the low of the today's candle, right? But I've got it back here, which is about 50 pips down here. And if this is going to sell, it has to break the bottom of that candle, then it has to break the bottom of that candle to actually break structure.
Well, actually, all you have to do is put a fair value gap right there where it's being created right now, and it shouldn't come back past the halfway point.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many different ways of looking at it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really.
exactly.
Um, but it doesn't mean it won't, though. That's the thing. It could have, and it could come back more than half. It could, the whole thing.
But that's why I'm
I'm,
saying I think you're in a good spot because you're
yeah.
underneath the fair value gap location.
Oh, true, true, true.
That's
Yes,
why I was
yes,
asking
yes.
where your stop loss was, because if you're
Yeah,
below that fair value gap, if it's going to continue up, it shouldn't break.
yes,
Well, you wouldn't think. You'd think it hit half and continue up.
yeah. But then the market, you see, we've got non-farm payroll coming. So non-farm payroll could just change that view straight away. It doesn't. So I let me let me say, I'll say it like this. So we could, it could be fair value gap, it could be order block, it could be something that Alistair said, there's a pineapple there, it could be anything. Yet price could ignore any of those things or anything else. It could be RSI level, it could be, you name it, it doesn't really matter. I think that for me personally, I think what I've learned is if you actually, because it could be so many different things, if we rely on that, then it could do whatever totally different to those sort of thoughts in like as a forecast. I think what's more for me, what has become more important is like what is the news and what are the fundamentals behind that news, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the overall direction, right? What's the sentiment of the market currently? And so some of the like the gaps in the markets, this like those things are great. They have some credence to them, but in the end, it's what the market does in relation to where it can make a profit. And yeah, I, I suppose I'm and some of the things I've got, like having what is it, 21 trades, basically profit for me, maybe it's a big fluke. I don't know. I'm just like, but what I'm following is like, what is that really overall trend? I'm probably in, well, I know I'm in a number of trades that are that are opposite to what I really want to be in them long term.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm waiting for a lot of these turns.
Correct.
Yeah.
So some of them, some of the trends that some of the pairs, a couple of the pairs, I think I spoke, Darren, I think I spoke with you, some of the GBPs, but I'm waiting for after the election to see where the direction changes, which it could quite easily in the pair. But some of them I might be in a buy, or in a sell, for example, and overall the trend in a higher time frame, like in a daily, is really in the opposite direction. So I'm waiting for the turn, get out of the trade that I'm currently in, which I think will only be shorter lived, and get into a trade that can be longer lived. But I might not be in that trade. So let me give you where am I? GA, maybe I'll do that. All right. Let me just, I'll probably, is this too much discussion or what? Or is this okay to rabbit on? Right. I just want to pull this out here. For example, maybe this is not the best example. I'm just sort of thinking about it. That's all.
It's all
Um,
education.
yeah. Uh, well, I think so too, but I don't want to bore people with mine. So you've got a low down here, a high up here. This is sort of, well, what date was that? That was back August 23, January 24, right? So from the middle of last year, roughly, it went into sell, sell, sell. It bought but didn't break the high, came up to this point, and then sold back out again, right? Now, when you look at this, and I'll okay, take only this amount, right? You have buy, pull back, didn't break the low. Buy, pull back, buy, pull back, didn't break the low. Buy, pull back, didn't break the low. Buy, pull back, broke the low, right? So all of that there from September 22 to August 23 was buying primarily, right? Okay. So now we've got a situation where it sold, pulled back up, didn't break the high, sold, broke the low, pulled up, broke the high, pulled back, didn't break the low, right? Pull up, didn't break the high, right? So we're in the short or the sell at the moment. All right. But what I do see is this here didn't break the low. This here will probably potentially not break the low. It may, because you've got a high there and the high closest to it has not broken either of those highs, right? So the point will be, if it doesn't break this low, it's more likely to push up and break this high. Yeah. If it doesn't, and so I'm in a sell at the moment, right? The GA, I'm only up 28 pips because it's danced around here a bit and because the election's so. But what I'm looking at is, will it come down to this rail? Will it break this low? I mean, here's a low over there, and I've got line there. Will it break this low? Right? If it breaks that, then it's coming back down because it's broken that. It could potentially break this low then, right? So if I'm in a sell, that's great at this point. But when I look at the longer term, like I'm looking back over here, I'm looking at potentially this to come back up and break the high here. Yeah. So there's a bit of that dilemma. Now, where am I? I'm on it. Oh, that's right. Here we go. GBP CHF. Okay. Here's one. See how it's in that buy now? Right. We've got buy up here. This is down to a sell here. We've got a high there to there. This buy, because this is, how do I explain there? So we've got that up, the high up here. So it's gone from the low there to the high there. Pull back. See that? I see this coming back down again and potentially breaking this low. So the buy I'm currently in, I want to get into potentially a long-term sell because I think this will potentially sell. GJ is just another, it's just the JPYs. But that's in a buy, but it's in a different sort of realm. So, oh, look, a little bit of sellout on today. Oh, and a red triangle. Oh, wow. And so what's the GJ? Here we go. GJ, I'm up 515. So I'm like 50 pips behind that. So it'll be like, 465 pips or something that I'll still get out of it if this comes back and hits my stop loss. But that's the sort of example of, like I'm in a sell on GA, but I'm in a buy on GBP CHF. Yeah. So that's sort of an example looking at those ones like GA and GBP CHF. See, that's like in a more of a longer term sell. The GA, and that's why I'm in the sell, but I'm cautious of of this in the rail where GBP CHF, you know, I'm in a buy, but is that a swing high for it to come back down again? Do you know what I mean? Because of that big push up there, it's more likely to push back down again. Or it could be. Have I just rambled on? Crazy?
No, not at all. I think we're going to get one more good spike up.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe.
take out to the top of the rail.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking for. Give us some triangles and then get into the cell. And that's why I'm sort of waiting, because that's what that's doing. But I think what's going to happen though is you've got this election outcome, which I think is it's a major sort of fundamental that's going to potentially push this around. And then you've got non-farm payroll.
I think because seriously, because you've got one party that's been so far ahead in the polls for so long, I tend to think that any effect of that change is probably already built into perhaps where the pound is now, unless there was something really unexpected. You know, the result just doesn't go as all the opinion polls have been saying for months. Now, I'm not sure there will be much of an impact. I will see. I might be wrong, but we'll see.
We will.
They might just use this as a reason to manipulate a little bit, I suppose. There's always that hidden behind the news.
Yeah. I'm just looking at technicals where they oscillate, you know, it's all this sort of stuff. So it's yeah, you're right, Darren. I mean, it might be a fizzle and a non-event in the currency, but a big news story in as far as politically is concerned. So yeah, what's this comment? UK election risk to British pound according to FX options. What are they saying? Nothing. Yeah, it's not. They're not saying too much though. The implied volatility gauges FX realized volatility is a key component. Overnight GU implied volatility is over 7.5 recent sessions. We'll see. All right. Well, it just you can't get away from the way it is. Like for example, GU, I've got a blue tag on it, so it's like, oh, I'd like to be in a trade on this, but you know, at the moment, and you know, it's come down. Oh, we'll see where the rails are. It's nowhere near the rail, but we've got a long and a push back up. Do you know what I mean? That's the sort of thing that I look at now. I mean, the triangles are great. If you get a triangle and you get that's just extra confirmation, extra bits and pieces like that there, or like that here. Great, good stuff. But what happens when you get this and you get this, you know, significant push? So anyway, that will be interesting. What am I now? What's that? 750 to 1, 8, 300. Yeah, I'm probably getting close. It's over 45% now on the account. It's only a small account, and that's in since the 13th of June. But then the JPYs have been really, you know, very generous.
I think you should be doing this on a proper account then, Brian. Never mind just doing it on a small account. It's time you started making some serious.
That's quite funny. That's quite funny, Darren, because that's what my son-in-law has been saying for the last week. What are you doing? What are you doing? Crazy. Anyway, yeah, and that's great. What I've learned is just taking it easy on it and test it out and go from there. But yeah, small account, but it could be better. All right. Now, where were we? We were somewhere. Okay, GBP we just looked, that's pushing up still, come back down a bit for the day. I think it's just 4th of July, as Tom said. Things haven't they've all slowed up till the end of the week. We're getting on payroll and then it'll do whatever it's doing. So I'm in a buy on that. Where's that one? Got a CAD CHF. Oh, yeah, 50 pips on that one. I got in that late. Yeah. CAD JPY still pushing. Yeah. CHF JPY, I'm not. Again, see how it's going sideways. I'm not. It just doesn't give me the indication to do anything with. That's why I've got that pinky on there. Euro AUD. Yes, it's dropped down further. Yee-hee. Not, but again, this is another one that hasn't moved very quickly. Where's my Euro AUD? It's, I'm 35 pips. That's all. But you see, I had sell, 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 sell. Oh, I haven't got the rails in there. Not coming in. Okay, let's go 4 hour. We'll come back to the daily. I think it's away from the rail at the moment. Yeah. Oh, no. We got one green, but it didn't really push it up too much. It went green in there. That's why my caution. And now we've gone down red, but it's got a doji in there for the day. Again, 4th of July, nothing much happening. EuroCAD, not in a trade, but, potentially would like to be. I'd like to be in a buy on this one. Oh, actually, I could be in this. I'm not in it. Okay. Let's see where EuroCAD, where am I with that? Oh, that's one I made a loss on. That's right. Remember it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll still sit with this one. I won't get in. Yeah, I want to see it come up to at least the middle and then we'll have a look. Anyway, it might be a next week one. Euro CHF, I'm in a buy on that. That's doing nicely as well. Came off this. I think the rail, did it give us a green triangle? Yeah, it did. Well, it was well out. So gone past the danger zone and it's still pushing up. Euro GBP, there's crazy stuff here. Look at the price gap came up, took it out, now it's pulled back down again. I think it will, I don't know. That again, it's blue, so I don't know at the moment which way I want to take this. If I look at it longer term, this is sell. This is a sell. Yeah. It's not in the right direction at the moment. What do we got? Oh, let's see how it's gone a bit red. It'll have to come down and break structure for me to get into it. Did you see it came off that middle? Bang, and then drop back down, push back up a bit now. Anyway, we'll see what happens when, because it's British pound outcome, we'll just see. Euro JPY, you can see how that's, again, 4th of July sitting there. Euro NZD, come on. Why am I not in this one? Oh, because it came to the middle. Oh, we'll see.
I think you think it's going to be short-lived, Brian, which it might be. But I mean, I'm still in it, so
You are, that's good. Yeah, because yeah, you're absolutely right. When you look at a bigger term, it's like, well, I don't think this will it might come to the other side, but what I want to be in is I want to be in a sell on it. So that's why I'm not. If that changes red, then we'll see. I might go for it. But look, it's got triangle, got long, and it's going up. I think you're right. That would have been my discussion, Darren.
Yeah.
Euro Singapore. Ah, what am I doing? That would have been a good trade too. Rats. Hang on, let's have a look. See Euro. Have we got a Euro Singapore set up here? No, I don't have a.
I mean, it's easy
I
to
don't
look
have
at
the.
something after the event and say, "Oh, that would have been a good trade to get in," but there has to be a reason to get in at the time, doesn't it? And
Well,
you know,
you've got this change and you've got it along and it hasn't broken the low. So, look at it. That's And if I look at it from that sell, it's really got to buy. And then if you go, I mean, it's a bit of a shitty pair, isn't it? I mean, look at the sideways crap on that.
Mhm.
That's a technical trading term. Sideways crap. Um, it's not a great one, is it? But that still could have been relatively good trade. It doesn't matter, does it? I can't be in every trade though, Darren. I mean, I've got to leave some.
Yeah.
Again, this I think will be this is Euro USD. It really is choppy. See how it's getting smaller and smaller in here? I don't know. I think I want to be in a sell on it, but at the moment it's like still sitting in there. Yeah. And that's, you know, it's interesting because the euro have lowered their interest rate, and the US hasn't. So why it's bought, I'm not particularly sure on it. Okay, GA, as I said, it's done that little sell. Whether it continues or not, I'm getting ready to. There's a stop loss in place anyway. So GCAD, just look at that. See how it's jumping back up again. And I didn't want to be in too many of the GBPs. See where it's at the moment. We haven't got a long on it. So let's see what after the election. But then if you look at it, it's in a buy. So what I'd like to be is in this trade, but it doesn't mean it will come out the other side. So let's see what the election results and whether it pushes these things around a little bit
Yeah.
up. And if it does, and we get along, I'd certainly want to get into that trade. GBP CHF, it has been pushing
I had a
up.
long 3 days ago on that GCAD.
Where? On GCAD?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Oh,
About sort of the 3 candles back. One, two,
but
three.
it's disappeared.
Yeah, still there.
Oh, I think it
Went on
disappeared
back.
because this has pulled back a little bit here.
Mm.
Anyway,
Still
we'll
showing on
see.
mine, but yeah.
Okay, GBP CHF pushing nicely. I'm in a buy on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
GJ and this is CHF. I sort of want to be in this at the moment, but it will depend. If it breaks the high, we're continuing up. If it doesn't break that high and it turns, I want to be in the sell because I think it'll be longer term sell. GJ, up it goes. Yeah, today's got one, hasn't for ages. We'll see. Maybe that's just a one day hero. GN. This is a bit sideways, not really. It has got a long and it might be nice, just depends after the election, same thing. GBP Singapore, no, same, it's only just a pinky. Got the blue there. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Might be next week type trade. NZD CAD, I'm in a sell and it's still selling, but today it's bought. Let's see, where's the rail? Yeah, see, short out there to do. It's come past the middle. It is pulling back up, but we'll just see. New Zealand Swiss franc. Pushing up. I'm in a buy on that. It hasn't moved a lot though, I think. Where is it? It's my New Zealand Swiss. Oh, it's up right up top. I'm only 5 pips up, so I've only just sort of got into it, which I think was, when was it? Yesterday. Yeah, NZD JPY pushing up nicely. No negative, no red, no nothing there. NZD USD as a sell, and it has bought back. So where's my NU? Yeah, it's only 28 pips. I don't like that sort of move, but we'll see. See, it's in the middle here. We'll see. I'm not too fussed on that one. I could lose on it if it pushes back up again. But if you look here, yeah, it didn't break that low there. Didn't break the high. Can go either way. We'll see. Anyway, I'm looking for it to sell further, but we'll see what happens. Maybe non-farm payroll may give it to us. Singapore Japanese yen, still a nice push up on that. NCAD, forget about it. It's just sideways. Oh, we've got a short there now, but it could turn any time. It's useless. So USD CHF, that's pulled back now too. Looks like there may be a change in the US dollar. In the middle, we'll see. Non-farm payroll will tell us. USD JPY. So I might get a few of these might just stop out on me with a loss on them. UJ done a little pullback too. But that's interesting because the UJ, why would it pull back if US dollar is getting stronger, because the Japanese yen is it's not very good at all. So why would you get a sell on UJ? Do you know what I mean, for the day?
Well, if you they just run out of steam from time to time, don't they? These things.
Yeah. But you look at the other you look at the other USD pairs, or like USD CHF, and you've got US dollar strengthening, so it doesn't matter what pair you're with. So USD in Singapore tends to be sideways. It could be sell, but I'm not really worried. And then gold, oh yeah, look at that, because of 4th of July. Not much on that. Where are we? Oh, Bitcoin dropped down to 58. Well, that's a significant. But it looks like it's coming out of the rail anyway. We don't have a green triangle yet, so. And you're out of the oil, but it has pushed further. It's up at 84. And I don't know what it is about oil and cocoa, but they're about the same, 84. Maybe they're running things with cocoa now. I don't know. Well, there you go. That was sort of this week. We'll see what happens with non-farm payroll. That's the thing that'll push it around, and either I'll get stopped out in some trades or not, or it'll push them further in the direction that a couple of them are starting to sort of move a little bit. We'll see. All right. How's that? Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Ready for a good weekend and start to next week. We'll see how we go. All right. Take it easy, everyone. Ciao.
Take care.
Thanks a lot. See you.